In this episode, Formula One British Grand Prix, Imsa at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, and the 24-hour series canceling Sebring. Welcome to episode 87 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, do you know what happened this past weekend?
A lot of racing happened this past weekend.
There was some IMSA. There was some F1. It was a good weekend.
There was even Indy.
There was Indy.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was even Trans Am, I think, too.
Ooh. Don't talk about that often, but it is a good series.
It is.
Yeah. I think NASCAR was with Trans Am as well. Anyway, let's talk about F1 first.
All right, let's do it because 'twas good.
F1 was at the British Grand Prix.
Yep.
In the UK.
Silverstone.
So this is the home for Mercedes, McLaren, Aston Martin.
Lots of them.
Every F1 team, basically.
Lots of them.
Red Bull, sort of.
In a way.
Yeah, in a way. And it was a very entertaining race.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any of it?
I actually got to watch the whole damn thing.
Did you see before the event?
I did not.
Ooh. You missed Sebastian Vettel get to drive Mr. Nigel Mansell's old F1 car.
That must have been really cool.
That was very cool.
I like that.
It was the screaming V10 or V12 era. I don't remember which era.
Just really cool.
Yeah. Super loud, awesome engine. And it was just him on track, and he was pedaling.
Good.
Yes.
Like he should be.
It was a car that he restored himself. Which is neat.
Really?
Yeah.
Sebastian Vettel restored that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty neat.
I guess the FIA gave him 1 or 2 laps to have fun.
That's cool.
Cool stuff. So the race itself was pretty spicy.
It was amazing. I am so glad I got to watch this race, and it wasn't just like, where was it, Azerbaijan?
Yeah. It was not that.
Not at all.
It started off spicy. Started off real spicy.
Mega spice.
Do you want to talk about what happened into the first corner?
Sure. So there was a driver that was upside down for a bit.
Yeah.
Zhou Guanyu he's in an Alpha, right?
Alpha Tauri.
Yep. So in the Alpha, he got tangled up in literally the first corner at 1,000,000 miles an hour, went upside down, and then proceeded to skid on his halo.
With who did he get tangled up with?
Everyone.
I believe it was mainly the other Mercedes.
It was George Russell.
Yep.
It was George Russell, and honestly, there was like 5 cars involved, but the 2 main ones were George Russell and Zhou Guanyu.
Yep.
And then watching the footage of that, it was gruesome.
It was gruesome.
They actually did not show the crash footage for a while because everyone was very concerned that there may not actually be a lot of Zhou Guanyu left.
Yeah.
That was a big crash, as we're looking at a picture of him creating sparks, getting upside down on his halo out of the corner.
The crazy part about this, the car got upside down. It skidded through the asphalt, the gravel, got to the tires, and then kicked over the tires and went into the catch fencing.
Yeah, that catch fencing did its job.
It did, but that's kind of a big no-no in F1, to get a car over the tire barriers.
It's impressive that it did get over the tire barriers.
It is. And did you happen to notice there was a lot of photographers standing there, and they scattered?
Yeah.
As they should have, but that's a big safety no-no for F1.
Yeah.
So how they prevent that in the future, I don't know, but I'm sure they will be trying.
Yeah, that was a big crash, and they actually, the race went red flag immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, immediately. I know there was an Alpine involved in that. There was just everybody. Well, that's a crazy picture we're looking at. The sparks and Zhou Guanyu upside down, just kind of looking at everything going, someone want to come right me here?
Yeah.
But that was a freaking wild first corner of Silverstone.
Did you notice how quick the red flag came out?
Immediately.
Do you know why that is?
Because the car was upside down.
No. There were spectators storming the track on other parts of the circuit.
I did not know that.
There was an actual group of people who are trying to get like oil banned or something like that on track, and the cars got close to them.
Whoa.
I'm sure the red flag was going to be thrown by this as well. but I believe the main part of the red was for the spectators on track.
That's nuts.
Yeah, they all got arrested, but that was happening as well as this.
Wow.
So I imagine the camera team was like, oh, God, what do we do?
Yeah, there's too much to look at. It's crazy. So the Halo pretty much saved Zhou Guanyu's life. We're going to go ahead and fess up to that right now. As ugly as they are, it definitely saved a life there.
It did a very good job.
And that's actually the second time in the weekend at Silverstone that a Halo saved a life.
Oh.
Because in the Formula 2 race earlier, I think actually the same day, a car jumped a sausage curb and landed on top of another car. So you know that picture that's been memed 1,000 times of the two Porsche Carrera Cup cars like on top of each other? Mm-hmm. It was like that for a split second, where like the car literally caught the sausage curb, caught air, hopped on top of the other F2 car, and for a brief second was that Carrera Cup race. That meme, right?
Right.
But yeah, the Halo coming in big this weekend.
Yeah, I did not know about that F2. That's wild. And it's usually not good when Halos get involved.
Especially not on the same circuit in two different series on the same day.
Mm-hmm. Silverstone is well known for being a very fast circuit and a dangerous circuit for that.
Yep.
But you usually don't see cars get airborne.
No, we saw two.
Yeah, that's rare.
Yikes.
You will see cars go into the fence hard, but not airborne.
Oh, you mean kind of like Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton last year?
That, case in point. So, what else happened in this event?
So, there was a lot that went on. So, in that initial kerfuffle with pretty much everyone, including Zhou Guanyu, a lot of cars got damaged, one of which was Leclerc.
Ooh, the Ferrari.
And Leclerc had a missing front winglet. So if you take a look at the picture we're looking at, his right front corner is missing the upright winglet his front wing. And what's funny is apparently Verstappen had a similar damage, and Leclerc was driving the balls off of this car. He was setting some decent lap times with broken front aero, and Verstappen was a million miles back.
From what I heard at the end of the race, Verstappen had floor damage, and that was the majority of his aero problems.
Well, then there's the problem, right?
Yeah.
The ground effect.
Apparently the ground effect is like 80% of these cars.
Oof.
Yeah, it's significant.
Well, either way, that was super crazy to watch, Leclerc battling it out with everything. I mean, there's just battles everywhere. I mean, there was a Ferrari on Ferrari battle, Sainz and Leclerc. Then there was, there's Leclerc and Hamilton. There was Alonso way up in the pack, battling for like third and fourth. What? Norris? It was phenomenal to watch this race. This was the most exciting that we've seen in F1 race, with the exception of the last lap of last season, in like 10 years.
Right. It was very entertaining. And I believe there was even a safety car with the like 10, 20 laps to go, which is what I said I wish they would do more often. It just happened that somebody broke down and stopped on the pit straight, and they had to throw the safety car.
Yep, I think that was Yuki Tsunoda.
I think it might have been.
Someone.
But it always makes for such entertaining racing. They should just implement a mandatory safety car between 10 to 20 laps remaining.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. But just so much fun to watch. Carlos Sainz did end up taking the win, which, happy for him. First ever Grand Prix win for Carlos Sainz.
First ever.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
And what's funny is Ferrari had a split strategy with tires with Leclerc and Sainz. So when that safety car came out with like 10 laps remaining, Leclerc had been on hard compounds for ever, it seemed like.
And he was in the lead.
And then Sainz and Hamilton and Alonso and maybe even Norris, I don't remember who else, all jumped in immediately for softs because there's 10 to 12 laps remaining. You want your grippiest tire for as much of a sprint as you can get. So then Leclerc was stuck out there on old used hards and had broken front aero. And Sainz was out there with a healthy car with brand new softs.
So was Perez, so was Hamilton, so was Alonso.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Checo Perez. That's who I'm missing, right? But it Ferrari then told Sainz give Leclerc a 10-car gap.
When they were going green. From the caution.
And Sainz, responded with a please do kiss my ass and blew past everyone. Mm-hmm. It was great.
The respectful middle finger.
Yep.
Is what
Pound sand, buddy boy.
Yeah. I don't blame him for doing that because they had previously taken a win away from him and given it to Leclerc for the championship earlier in the year. And right after that, he said, we need to have a chat on the radio. Mm-hmm. And, they probably played the politics game and the chat probably went well. But when you're a racing driver in the car, in the heat of the moment, you win. You win the race. That's what you do.
That's what you do. But to round out the top 10, let me give you the top 10 finishers here. You ready? Mm-hmm. Carlos Sainz took the win. Sergio Perez in the Red Bull took number 2. Lewis Hamilton, the hometown hero, did take 3rd, so he did get on podium. For the second time this year beating George Russell, who was a DNF after the first corner.
Did you see George Russell trying to get back?
I did. He was claiming that he was running over to help Zhou Guanyu, but realistically, he was running over there to say, let me give you a knuckle sandwich for taking me out of this race, you muppet.
I don't know if I'll go that far.
I think that's what he was doing, but that's my speculation. But Lewis Hamilton came 3rd. Charles Leclerc was 4th, so he still picks up some admirable points there. And then followed by, are you going to be amazed with Fernando Alonso in an Alpine in 5th? What?
That's crazy.
Bro. Followed by Lando Norris in 6th. McLaren, hometown. Then Max Verstappen was battling it out with, are you ready for this? Mick Schumacher.
Whoa.
Could you imagine Mick Schumacher battling the world champion for 7th?
When Verstappen woke up that morning, there's no way he thought he'd be battling Schumacher. Yeah, Mick. No way.
When Mick woke up that morning, he must have been looking himself in the mirror and said, you will beat Verstappen today. And then it was crazy to see Schumacher actually giving some sauce to Verstappen. I mean, there was some actual battle between Schumacher and Verstappen.
Yep.
I was like, cool to see. Oh shit! Is he about to just absolutely hammer Verstappen right now? But so Verstappen came 7th, followed by Mick Schumacher, which I believe is his first actual points in Formula One.
I think so.
I believe it's his first points.
Okay.
And then Mick Schumacher 8th, Sebastian Vettel in an Aston in 9th, and then to round out the top 10 all point scorers, Kevin Magnussen.
Ooh.
So that means in the top 10, there was only, let's see, Ferrari, Red Bull,
Mercedes.
Hold on. Ferrari, Red Bull, and Haas that had 2 cars.
Okay. Yep.
Getting points.
Yep.
Haas is in the same statistics as Ferrari and Red Bull.
That's wild.
Can we just say that in a sentence? I never would have expected to say that in a sentence.
That never happens.
Haas getting double points. Mercedes did not get double points.
Nope.
Whoa.
That is crazy.
That's pretty sick.
So that ends up putting us in an interesting spot in the points. Mm-hmm. So we still have Verstappen on top with 181 points. We have Perez, his teammate, in second with 147. Then we have Charles Leclerc at 138. So he's 9 back. Or he's 11 back of Perez, which is not very far. Then we have the other Ferrari, Carlos Sainz, up there, and he's at 127. So he's only another 10 back. Mm-hmm. So we're getting to the point where the points are now just increments of 10 points between the drivers.
Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes. Mm-hmm. And then Hamilton is still a ways back.
He is, but he's starting to look a little better, I will say.
Yeah, but he is running out of daylight here.
He is. He's still almost 100 points back from the leader currently. But if the leader has a DNF and you get 25 points a race, 26 if you get the fastest lap. So there's a world in which it happens. Mm-hmm. There's not a good word, but there's a world.
Yep. It's true.
Overall, super entertaining race.
I agree. Super happy to see that. That is why we watch Formula One. The drama.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yep.
Yes.
And that does put us in the constructors. Red Bull still on top. Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, Alpine. Haas is all the way down in 8th.
But you know what?
I believe
not
that they
in 10th.
jumped some people in
No,
this,
they're
which
not
is
in
good.
10th.
Williams only has 3 points. Yikes.
Oof.
Yikes.
Bummer.
Yeah.
So that was the 2022 British Grand Prix.
Super cool.
Mm-hmm. But there was another race. There was actually multiple other races, but there's another race that we'll kind of highlight here.
Mm-hmm.
And this was in Imsa, the International Motorsports Association. They raced at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park up in Ontario,
CTMP.
Canada.
Good track.
You ready for a joke?
Yep.
You know how when Canada was founded, do you know how they came up with the name Canada as a country? There's a couple guys sitting around a bar, and one guy said, "Hey, how about we start with a C, eh? And we'll go to an N, eh? And maybe we'll follow it up with a D, eh?" And there you go, Canada.
What the heck? Oh,
You
my
gotta
goodness.
love corny jokes, right?
All right. Let's take a look at what happened at CTMP.
All right. So the IMSA race at CTMP was jolly exciting. God
Yes, it
damn.
was.
This weekend, I mean, this Sunday, we had some properly exciting racing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a racing fan, this was a great weekend for you.
Good motorsports.
Yeah, baby. So the race at CTMP, there was lots of drama. Lexus crashed out right immediately. He got tangled up with, I think it was a prototype, and then the Porsche went around, and someone else went around, and I think a BMW took up some tire debris, and just so much stuff.
I believe that in a pre-race interview, he said, the only worry I have for this event and us not winning is the shenanigans from the other series in front of us at the race start. Exactly how he got crashed. He called it.
Manifested. Boom!
Yes.
Ask and you shall receive. Oof. But bummer for the Vassar Sullivan Lexus that got crashed out right away. But lots of good battles, more specifically in the DPI class, which typically doesn't have the bestest battles because it is just top class. And usually once you're ahead, you're just ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh my God. The battles, the Acura on Acura battles, the Acura on Cadillac battles, the Cadillac on Cadillac battles. Oh my God, it was so good. So good. A couple of incidents where, I mean, DPIs are just bumping and grinding and touch. A little more touch as we go into a corner. And then as we come out and just touch. Oh, just fantastic. Ricky Taylor duking it out with whoever else was in the other Acura. Then we had the Cadillac with, who was it, Sebastian Bourdais, and just so good to watch.
It was amazing to watch. I will say I don't actually know what was more entertaining this weekend, if it was F1 or IMSA.
Normally, IMSA by a country mile.
Yeah.
But this was like the first weekend when neither one of them was boring.
Right.
There was literally IMSA or F1. Normally IMSA by a country mile. But I will tell you, this weekend, man, god damn.
Mm-hmm.
So much good racing.
Yep.
There was a big crash in LMP3 at the CTMP race. It looked like it got just a very teeny, tiny little touch with, it may have been Ollie Jarvis in the Acura DPI. And that P3 went head on into a tire wall.
Yep.
That was a big shunt. That looked not good.
I did see the replay of that, and it was a very high-speed accident.
Yeah.
Never good to see.
Very not good.
They did go into tires, not into concrete or metal, but
Thank God.
it still looked like it hurt a lot.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
No.
So let me give you some results here. The overall win went to a Cadillac. Went to the 01 Cadillac, driven by Renger Vandezen and Sebastian Bourdais.
I'm glad to see that, because overall the Acuras have looked dominant.
Yep. Glad to see a Cadillac take a win here.
Did they look dominant in this race?
The Acuras?
Yeah.
Or the Cadillacs?
The Acura.
I'm going to say they they just looked like BOP got it pretty right this race.
Okay.
This race, BOP looked like they kind of did their job.
Good.
For the most part. From what I could tell. Granted, I'm not in the car. But, moving down the line there, so you had the Cadillac DPI, the 01, take the win, followed by an Acura in second, the number 60 Acura, driven by Oliver Jarvis and Tom Blomqvist. Then you had another Cadillac rounding out the podium. You had the 31 Cadillac, driven by Olivier Pla and Pippo Durrani.
Okay.
Yes, so those are your top three. And then if we go down to the GTD Pro class, we have the win going to the hometown boys in the 5 Porsche.
Cool.
Yep. Matthew Jaminet and Matt Campbell took the win in GTD Pro, followed by the Corvette C8R, driven by Antonio Garcia and Jordan Taylor.
Huh.
And then, in third in GTD Pro, was the Aston Vantage, driven by Ross Gunn and Alex Riberas. So what a great top three for GTD Pro.
Yeah.
You have a Porsche, a Corvette, and an Aston. All 1, 2, 3.
Variety.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Spice of life. Good stuff there. And then in GTD, the non-pro, we had the number one spot being taken by an Aston, Roman DeAngelis and Maxime Martin. And then the second place in GTD was taken by a Mercedes AMG GT3, driven by Russell Ward and Philip Ellis. And then from there, we had an Acura taking the third spot in GTD, driven by Ryan Eversley and Aiden Reed.
Huh.
Variety in all classes.
Variety is the spice of life.
Fantastic.
Heck yeah. A little bit more IMSA news. There's actually a new series that's kind of replacing another one in IMSA.
What's that?
IMSA's to replace the Prototype Challenge, which is an entire series on their own, where they race prototypes, GT3 class prototypes. We saw them at Daytona when we were at the Roar a couple years ago. They're going to replace it with a new sprint racing class in 2023. And from what I understand, this is a multiple class sprint race series that will debut in 2023. It is going to be called the IMSA VP Racing Sports Car Challenge.
Hold on, multi-class.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got prototype, P3s.
It's going to have P3s and GT4s.
Whoa!
In 45-minute sprint races.
Okay.
With one driver per car.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm so excited about this.
Yes. Question.
Answer.
P3s are already in the main IMSA series.
Are they going to come out of the main IMSA series?
Will they come out? I don't know.
I think they do.
I think they do. I think that they do. And will Continental Tire continue to run? Because now it's called the Michelin Pilot Challenge. From what I understand, they will continue to run.
Really?
Because this is a sprint single driver, whereas Conti is two drivers with driver changes. And it's 2-hour events as opposed to 45 minutes.
So that's just going to be cool to see P3s and GT4 cars running together.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a really cool series to watch.
So then the IMSA ladder itself is kind of
blurry.
Yeah, it is blurry now.
Very. Because you've got all underneath the IMSA umbrella, you've got what? MX5 Cup.
Yep.
You've got Carrera Cup.
Yep.
You got what used to be Prototype Challenge, which is now this VP Sports Car Challenge.
Yeah, VP Sports Car
Then
Challenge.
you've got the Contis or the Pilot Cup Challenge, whatever it is. And then you've also got WeatherTech.
Yes. So,
and I think I'm missing another one somewhere in there.
The ladder was clear until they added this. This kind of like branches the ladder.
A little bit.
Yeah. Interesting.
This seems like the top step if you're only looking to go sprint racing.
Yeah. But why would you add a sprint racing class or series if the top dog that you're going to is an endurance racing thing?
Because for the drivers in Carrera Cup and MX5 Cup that aren't endurance racing leagues and series, maybe this becomes their new version of WeatherTech if you're a sprint driver.
Do you think that they'll push it that hard?
No.
I don't think they will either.
But it'd be cool.
Like you're never going to have a Rolex 24, a Sebring 12 out, like those big marquee events in a 45-minute event.
But it'll be a cool supporting event.
I completely agree with that. But it is murky for the ladder.
Very.
Yes.
Very murky.
Yeah. That was something I saw in an article and was like, huh, cool, but odd.
Yeah,
Huh.
cool but odd.
Okay.
So, ready to move on to something that's not cool?
Let's talk about it.
So, previous episode, we talked about a car that was being killed off. Now, I hate to bring more bad news, but there's a race that's going to be killed off.
Okay.
And it's the 24-hour series, the 24H series, right?
Oh, no.
You know where I'm going.
Oh, no.
Oh,
okay.
yes. Unfortunately, it seems as though the 24H series is giving Sebring the axe.
No.
It's dead. Which sucks, because that was so cool to have a 24 race at Sebring.
It was, but do you remember what happened?
I do.
Yeah.
I remember that none of the teams had their car until, honestly, the morning of the race.
Yes.
It was race, green flag at 9 a.m., and they got their cars, honestly, the evening before at 6:30 p.m.
If I recall, they even pushed back green flag. Or
I
they
think
might
they
have
did.
delayed
I
green
think
flag
they
by
went
a day.
I think what they were going to do is they were going to do green flag on Friday through Saturday.
Yeah.
And they went, there's about 60% of people that still don't have cars.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go green flag Saturday into Sunday.
Yeah.
Damn.
Not good. Not good.
It's a bummer.
Understandable as to why they would axe this event. Kind of stinks for us, though, because we could go to this event.
I agree.
And I will say, when I was watching them race last year,
It looked great.
there was no one there.
It looked great. We could have complete access to anything we wanted to go see.
It's such one of those small series that you don't hear about, but it's really good racing.
Yeah, I agree. There's a quote that I want to pull from this SportsCar 365 article by John Dagges. In an effort to avoid the unfortunate circumstances that threatened to curtail last year's Hankook 24-hour Sebring and to avoid disrupting our competitors, that's why they are nixing it. Which, exactly like we said, no one had cars or parts or tires or people or anything until the day before the event. It sucks, but it makes sense.
It's understandable.
Yeah. And here's the next thing. They have not yet announced where the new venue will be.
It is an international series, but I suspect...
Where do you think it'll be?
Well, do you think they'll come back to the U.S.?
I would love to see them at Laguna Seca.
But if they were having supply problems getting the cars into the U.S.,
I know it's not going to happen.
I don't think they'll come back.
I think it's going to be probably Middle East.
I would suspect it'd be something like that.
Feel like 24 Hour already spends a lot of time in the Middle East, and it would just make sense for them to kind of, dare I say, stay there.
I agree. Their current race calendar is in Germany, then it goes to Portimao, then it goes to Barcelona, Dubai, and then Abu Dhabi. So it is that
Does it
Europe,
have Spa
Middle East
on it? No, they already race a regular Spa 24.
No.
Maybe they do. So they're ending in what, Dubai and Abu Dhabi?
Yeah.
So maybe they go back to, or maybe they go to Monza.
Anywhere in Europe. Put a pin on a map in Europe and say we're going there.
Whoa. What about Silverstone?
I could see that.
That could work.
Yep.
That
Although
could work.
I would want them to go to Brands Hatch or another
Smaller
track
yeah.
that's smaller than Silverstone.
Something different.
But the tracks that they have here, they're not huge.
Some of them are Grand Prix circuits.
Some of them.
Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
Barcelona. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I suspect it will not be in the U.S. and it'll be in Europe.
I suspect you're probably correct.
It's annoying. It'd be weird if they canceled Sebring and then went to Coda.
That'd be awful.
Yeah. That'd feel wrong.
Then they would just be scared of Florida Man. Throw a gator on the track.
And all the other series come to Florida. Imsa's here. The WEC comes here for the 12 hours.
True.
Yeah.
All right. So, apart from 24-hour series, that's all for the news we have. Motorsports fans and enthusiasts should keep your eye on TV this weekend because there is the F1 Austrian, not Australian, but Austrian Grand Prix. That's at Red Bull Ring coming up this weekend, as well as the FIA WEC World Endurance Championship at Monza this weekend.
I believe it's the first time we'll see the
Peugeot.
Yes, the Peugeot.
Woo!
Yeah.
Super stoked for that.
That'll be cool.
So keep your eyes peeled on TV. But you got anything else?
That's it, buddy.
All right, so it's going to wrap us up for episode 87. Thanks so much for watching and for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave us a thumbs up, a comment, and hit that subscribe button for us. I would be so grateful for that. And if you're listening on audio, leave us a 5-star rating and a review on your platform of choice. And while you're at it, don't forget to follow us on all of our social platforms. Instagram is WeAreAuto_. YouTube is We Are Auto. Facebook is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. So thanks again so much, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.